A lot of people feel like the Runescape map is cluttered, and people want to expand the world of Gielinor. Now, while I'm not against expanding the Runescape's map, in this video I want to talk about the positives of having a crammed map. Let's actually start by taking a look at other MMORPGs and their maps, and how it feels to actually navigate them. A very frequent issue with most MMORPGs is the fact that maps are big and spacious, and oftentimes that means empty. The map just feel empty. Not only do they suck to navigate given how long it takes to go from point A to point B, but they also don't really have a lot to interact during that trip. In Runescape we have the opposite issue, but this isn't necessarily bad. It makes navigation much easier and interesting given all of the things going on around you. I also would argue that the Runescape map isn't as crammed as people believe it is. In old school Runescape we have Z, and through this we can see exactly the issue of giving space to a map. A map that even today is a pain to navigate, a map that has large sections of not much going on, and a map that doesn't really feel all that exciting to explore. And that is today, after several reworks to it. This is something that oftentimes big maps don't have. It's how alive they feel. They feel more immersive, they feel like they are part of the game since there is more stuff going on. Even to this day, Varrock has a lot of content and we still use it. Runescape has very little dead areas due to this. When we look at Varrock, while we might not use 90% of its content anymore, and as a result traversing it might feel bogged down, we still see other players using things in it and discovering it much like we did during the first time we went to Varrock. Much like how you remember going to school you no longer go. Yeah, sure, the school isn't useful to you anymore, and as a result it might make the area feel cluttered, but reminiscing about your time there and, see the people going through it now makes you feel immersed. This is the same when it comes to Runescape, and it's much easier to achieve that when an area offers much more interactability than just 2 or 3 pieces of content and one NPC to talk to. This is a big factor contributing to immersion that I feel it's much harder to achieve in big maps than small ones, despite the fact that, from a gameplay perspective, a lot of the Runescape map is kinda cramped. Since the map is crammed, oftentimes when it comes to new places being unlocked, well, they need to be unlocked. They usually need to be unlocked through an area already existing on the map, making everything feel far more connected. Due to this, you feel like every reward that gives you a new place to explore and train at is a direct reward from exploring that crammed map at first, instead of just being a part of the map that simply exists there. This yet again contributes to that immersive feeling that even places you don't visit much anymore still have a use to you and are still in your memory. The substance in this case being how much you interact with your environment. Runescape is a unique game in the sense that you can interact with a lot of NPCs, with any skilling nodes, many of which are directly part of the game. A tree is decoration, however in Runescape a tree is as much of a decoration as it is an interactable object you can chop to make a fire and cook things in it. This substance is something that a lot of MMORPGs just lack, and is the reason why people even argue that Runescape feels crammed. If Runescape was one of those MMORPGs that was mostly reliant on combat, most players would probably feel the opposite, that the map is empty instead of crammed. There is also the traversing. Other MMORPGs have teleport portals to a specific place, or you can run there. In Runescape you can teleport, run there, take a boat, take a canoe, take a minecart, a fairy ring, you name it. There are many transportation options, each going to their own little place on the map. This is yet another factor that contributes to the map feeling crammed, yet again, the ability to interact with a lot of things. In this case, however, these interactions are even better because they actually reward you for exploring the world around you. Metin 2, for instance, has no transportation of any kind, rather than just some teleports. As a result, the map feels very empty with not much to do, and contrary to Runescape, where exploring the map will eventually unlock fun and interesting ways to traverse it, here you just don't. Transportation matters, and while again it contributes to the clutter, it makes the map feel much more immersive and alive. At the end of the day, I would rather have a map that is crammed but feels alive than a map that is vast but feels empty, and RuneScape, despite all of the little things it has in it, feels far more alive than many maps that are 3 to 4 to 5 times its size. And lastly, to finish this video and wrap it up, one of the very interesting things that I see a lot of other MMORPGs doing is that they tend to give you tools to skip traversing the map, so they give you mounts that have a lot higher movement speed. RuneScape never does that. While you can unlock different ways to teleport or to just traverse the map, all of them are related to you exploring the map directly, or you just still have to render at the same speed. RuneScape doesn't want to substitute the traversing, because in RuneScape, traversing a map is fun, and it's only fun because of how much stuff there is to do in it, which is exactly what contributes to the feeling that RuneScape is crammed. That, however, is a good thing.